What up, y'all? Welcome to the Film Geeks podcast. My name is Samantha.
And I'm Sean.
And how you doing today, Sean?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to do this. Here we are again. This is episode 3. So, I've just enjoyed how this has been going for us. And a lot to cover in this episode. So, before we get into anything, you have an announcement to make, and we'll pretty much just go from there. So let's get into it.
Oh, yes. First and foremost, we would like to thank Demario Daly of RBY Prints. Yes, he is located in Lawrenceville, Georgia. He made our T-shirts. Sean has a T-shirt. I have on a hoodie. You can follow him on Instagram at RBY Prints. And his website is www.rbyprints.com. Here we go.
Hey, shout out to Demario on this T-shirt for sure. Like, I love the way it feels. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like that soft cotton. Like, it feels good on the skin. So, I mean, as soon as I got it out the package, I was just like, oh, yeah, this is it. Yes. We're definitely ordering more. I sent a picture to my sisters, and they want a shirt. So, we'll go from there.
You got new customers, Demario. We appreciate you so much for coming through like this.
And we will definitely be back for more. And also another quick shout out to the homie Joe for actually doing the design for the shirt as well. We really wanted Joe to be a part of this process. So for him to, do the design on the T-shirt, that was definitely big. He is also a DJ as well. So if you're in the Northeast Ohio area and you're looking for a DJ, in Ohio, because this boy will travel. He has gone down as far as Cincinnati. So if you're looking for DJ services, you can hit Joe at his Instagram is at DJ the number 8bit_Cleveland, or his website is www.dj the number 8bit.com. So once again, Demario and Joe, man, thank y'all so much for, getting the shirts, the logo, man, and like we official out here. I can't wait to get out in the streets and wear this, and people be like, "Yo, what's that?" Yes. It's the podcast. Follow it. So, man. So here we are, episode 3. A lot to get into. So, where you want to start? Do you want to start with, I guess, probably the most popular TV show that's out that everybody's talking about right now, and that is Paradise. It ended last week. They had 8 episodes. So without further ado, like, how do you feel about this series overall? We know that we're getting to season 2. So let's what do you got? What are your initial thoughts? How it ended? What are you looking forward to in season 2?
All right. So, let me take it back just a second. Once again, all spoilers here. We not holding back. Just letting y'all know. We got spoilers for everything that we're going to talk about. So if you haven't seen it, turn off the podcast, the YouTube, whatever, and come back to it later. So Paradise.
Yes.
Can you hear me? You good?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
No, we still here. We gone.
Okay. I am still on a Paradise high. I should say that much. That series was phenomenal. I got my daughter to watch it. I got my mom to watch it. They both thought it was great. I'm still, it's just so many pieces. I'm still no one knows that Jane killed Billy. And I'm still shocked about that. And I hope they answer a little bit more questions in season 2. Also, my daughter brought to my attention that Billy Pace used to be on one of her favorite Nickelodeon shows, which was Fresh Beat Band. And he played Twist, which was the keyboard player. Yes. Back in 2006, 2007 when it came out. And I was like, wow. His real name is John Beavers. Told y'all I'm gonna get better.
All right.
And his character on Nickelodeon show Fresh Beat Band was Twist, and he played the keyboard. And that show actually had a lot of bangers on it. I used to watch it with her. Super dope. Sinatra, is she still? Is she dead? Is she in a coma? First of all, is Billy really dead? Like, did they ever show the body? All they did was kind of show a funeral, but they never went into any details about anything else.
Billy gone. Nah, I
He
don't know. I
gone?
mean, that would be a huge plot twist to bring him back.
Right.
Like, I mean, dude, they got Infinity Stones inside of this dome. Like, we don't know. Like, I mean that. But no, Billy gone. I mean,
I just
that would
feel
be
like
a
it
cool
was
twist.
too soon. It was too soon. Look, a cool twist. No pun
Right,
intended.
definitely a cool. but going, hitting on Sinatra, her getting. I mean, I guess the question is, how good of a shot do you have to be to shoot her where she shot her, because she got hit in the throat, right?
Yeah.
And miss everything to the point where she's still alive. Like, I'm a pretty good shot. Like, I've fired weapons, being in the military and all, and I've got marksman one time in my career. And I'm just saying, like, you got to be a really good shot. But then it also depends on the type of bullets that they're using as well. So I ain't going to get into the whole geek stuff about that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, depending on what type of ammunition that they use, maybe, but I mean, they kind of showed her in the bed in the hospital, in the coma, whatever the case may be. But she had it coming. And the reason why she had it coming, because she didn't give up the Wii. All
Right.
Jane wanted was the Wii. Give that girl the Wii. She wanted to play tennis. And Sinatra was just like, huh? And, then she hung up. You know what? It's taken care of. Do you have a Wii? Have you ever played the Wii?
Yes. Yeah. It's one of my favorite systems. Oh, I love anything
Really?
Nintendo, but the Wii and the Super Nintendo still get actively played to this day.
All right, good deal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so you could see why Jane won. I mean, but then also they in this dome as well. Man, so kind of switching gears, I mean, should have gave that girl a Wii. But was the librarian on your bingo card? Because he definitely wasn't on my bingo card at all.
Nope. Nobody's bingo card. And I've seen so many takes, so many Instagram reels about everybody saying the same thing. Like, nobody expected the librarian at all. I loved how it went full circle, though.
I mean, my man was, like he said, he was good up until he saw Cal come in that library to ask for a mixtape. I mean, my man was just living a life in the dome that he wasn't even supposed to be in. How he got in there, I mean, it's just wow. And I love how they gave us like the whole backstory. I mean,
Yes.
I feel like Paradise, so the way I kind of looked at this show, I kind of, related it to like Game of Thrones. So like Game of Thrones, like if you, for those of you listening, if you've ever watched this series, it always went, so Game of Thrones always had 10 episodes, but in episode 9, if you kept up with it, something always went down. Stark's head getting cut off, the Red Wedding, all of the good stuff happened, with the exception of season 8. It all went down in episode 9. And then that episode 10, the season finale, it would give you just enough to just want you wanting more. And I think that's what episode 8 did for us. Just, the whole backstory, and I get why he did what he did. I mean, my man, you work in building a dome and you don't know what you're building and why you're building. You don't know what's coming. But then there's all these red flags, like, working down there, there's hazardous materials. You got dudes dying down, like dudes that you work with every day that you build relationships with. And then all of a sudden you get booted. So, I mean, I get it. Like, I totally understand it. Now, do I condone it? Absolutely not. Like, no, that's just wrong. But at the end of the day, I get it. So again, like, wasn't on my bingo card at all. And while we're discussing names, your girl, Gabriella, my girl, Sarah Shahi, that's her name. Yeah. I had to, because
I had questions about that therapist too, so we good. Great segue.
So for her, you know, I feel like, you know, she was trying to be the one to kind of neutralize like Sinatra, like just kind of like, girl, chill, like you doing too much. And, you know, I was looking at her as like kind of like I ain't gonna say a villain, but, you know, somebody that just wasn't on our side. Because, you know, we on Xavier Collins' side. I mean, yeah, she slept with the man and all, but that don't mean nothing these days. But what I'm saying is that, like, you know, you kind of got to see what her character was. So, you know, I kind of like how they didn't really harp on her, and I would love to see them really get into her story on what her actual role was, you know, in this, you know, this whole
they mentioned it a little bit.
Dome. I mean, she's like, she's a therapist for, go ahead.
But yeah, they mentioned, they didn't go into great detail, but they did say she kind of handpicked or what do you call it?
Oh, yeah, right.
What did she do? Interview a lot of the people. Yeah, she handpicked the people that was going into the dome. She handpicked those people, but they didn't go into detail about her background at all.
So she handpicked 25,000 people. So going back to my dudes, I was working on building the dome. Like, we couldn't have like 25,038 dudes in there. Like,
you saw what they did to the president people when they was trying to get on the plane. Yeah. Like, all them people served the president. They shot all of them and didn't let them get on. Like, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, man.
I mean, look, 25,000 was the max. I mean, I'm thinking like the dudes building it could have got some love, but I mean,
that makes sense.
Like that you said, it's a dog. Ain't life. Dog-eat-dog world, but overall, what would you give this series? Like, would this just based on season 1, like, where would this go in like TV history of like shows for you? Like, does it have the potential to be mentioned as like one of the greats? Or am I reaching?
No, you're not reaching at all. I'm like you. I can't compare it to Game of Thrones because I've seen This Is Us. So for me, the way it's written is literally just like This Is Us. Dan Fogelman did a lot of flashbacks in This Is Us. You would get present day, then you would get flashback. You would get present. So it's really similar. So like, I love This Is Us. So that's up there with that for me. Like, this guy's a great writer, a great creator. Who I don't know what else he's done, but these are the only two that I know for sure that he's done, and they have the same like kind of aesthetic, and it's just phenomenal. So I would put it up there with like, it's up there with Last Dragon for me, as far as a TV show though. This show was a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
I mean, yeah, by far 10 out of 10. Like, it exceeded expectations. I mean, I was drawn in from the original trailer that I seen for it. But if you'd have told me this show would have become what it is, because I'm not going to say what it was, because it's still is, you know, we're obviously getting a season 2. But if you told me that it was going to be what it is, I'd have been like, nah, the most talked about show right now. And if not, then I don't know what rock you're living under. Yeah,
for sure. Shout out to Sterling K. and the whole team over there, man.
Sterling K. Brown, put some respect on your man's name.
Touche.
Put some respect. Look, episode 1, girl, put some respect on your man, on your babe. Because he on your bae's name. There we go.
I know that's right. So, switching gears, I know you're the Oscar guy, the Oscar geek.
Yes.
We also both got a chance to check out Anora. Go ahead, shine.
So
you talked about this, so
So Honora, so it definitely cleaned up at the Oscars. It wasn't nominated for the most, but I believe it won the most awards, and I think they were nominated for 5 categories. No, they were nominated for 6 categories, but they took home 5, and that would include the best director. Best picture, best director, best actress, best original screenplay, and best film editing. So
Okay.
the mother two, okay, whatever, they can have that. Best picture. So I don't know if so I didn't see The Brutalist, and it's
Oh,
still the night I
I
was gonna
thought you
watch it.
did.
No, so the night. Well, I'm gonna tell. I didn't get around to watching it. I'm going to
Okay.
watch it. Hopefully, by the next episode, I'll be able to say what I think about The Brutalist, or I can do a reel of what I
Okay.
thought about The Brutalist.
There you go.
But best picture, like I said, I didn't see The Brutalist. Like, do you just before I go into anything else, do you think Honora deserved best picture? Before I go into the other part,
No, I don't.
no.
But that's not to
Okay.
say it was a bad movie though.
Yeah. So overall, I thought the movie was great. It was a awesome. I mean, it told a great story, and for Mikey Madison to win the Oscar for Best Actress, hey, rightfully so. Like this girl, the girl that walked out on the stage and took that award, is not the girl that played in this movie.
Listen.
When I say she played the hell out of this role, I mean she killed it. Like, and I think that's what you want in like your best actor, your best actress. You want somebody that, changes the game, like who gets so in deep into the role that you're just absolutely convinced. And for her to go from being well, she was a stripper, and
We're
then
going to
she
call
ended
her
up
an exotic
marrying
dancer, not to offend the
okay,
strippers.
right, okay, and she was an exotic dancer, and she ended up marrying a Russian. What was he, like a Russian like boss? Like I ain't gonna say like a crime boss, but like I mean, because we never knew what he did for money. But I mean, he was a powerful dude. So
He
for
was
her
the
to
son of a powerful dude. He was the son of a Russian
yeah,
drug lord. That's pretty much what it was.
okay, just that whole scenario, and then the fact that she was trying to fight for it until her mom just shut it down. Like, I think the dad was low key cool with it. Like, he didn't really give off any type of pushback or anything. It was more so of the mom. But I mean, and then I guess the whole dynamic with Igor too. Like, they were kind of getting into. I don't think that he really wanted to do the job that he wanted to do, like as far as restraining her. Like he started like digging her, like at the end. Obviously, at the end, it grew into something else. But I mean, for the movie to have done what it done, like I'm okay with it. Like best directing. I mean, and it was pretty much what this. Would you consider this an indie?
I think
Was
it
it like
was
an
though. It was. They said that
okay?
they were like it was a low budget film, according to like what I was
Yeah,
reading. Yeah. I am with you 100%. I love that all of the actors were believable, especially
yeah,
her. I was just like, yo, like she driving me crazy one minute and then I'm feeling bad for her the next minute. And I'm like,
yeah,
damn, she about her money. Like
yeah.
I was just blown away. Like she deserved that best actress. She
Absolutely.
deserved that to a T. I I'm like you. That mother, his mother wanted it to be annulled. Like she was a bitch. She like no.
Well,
She know her son no. Like he was a fucking
yeah,
drug head who what 23 years old. The way he didn't
yeah.
even want to stand up for the marriage or none of that stuff. He didn't want to be with her. He didn't want to be with her at all. He just liked the sex. The pussy was good.
I think, I
That's
think,
all.
I think I think he enjoyed it until he didn't. But then I guess it didn't help that, you had so many entities like trying to basically separate that. And I think had those, I guess the one dude, I can't even think of his name, but like, the dude that was basically working for his dad, like he, like he was just like, you know what, this ain't gonna work. Like he was like the mom, but I think mom was like the last straw. Like, look here, we just gonna annul this. Here's your money, and basically have a nice day. But I say all that to say, best actress, rightfully so. Best director, rightfully so. Like that. Best picture, that remains to be seen. I still need to watch The Brutalist, and I think I saw somewhere, is this supposed to be on Hulu soon? So you guys can watch it on Hulu when it releases. I want to say in a couple of weeks. I wish I had that information. I'm pretty sure I reposted it somewhere. Who knows? I'm always reposting stuff.
Yeah, I am with you 100%. It was like a Cinderella story almost. You going around strip dancing for money. Like he comes in high out the sky off of drugs. Wants the best person that speaks the language. She barely even spoke it. She just understood it, I believe the dude said. Like I said, he just was obsessed with the sex. Like that was it. Yeah. And especially getting high, having sex, and playing video games all day. Come on now, you can tell she was getting a little bit irritated. She was getting a little bit irritated. She wanted a little bit more, and she wanted the money. She started enjoying the lifestyle. I mean, that's Cinderella-ish, but mom wasn't here for it. Neither was the we gonna call him the present mom, because they had to come from Russia to go get the whole thing.
Yeah, right.
The present mom, and then that ending, that just kind of like. It made me sad because she had nothing else going for her but her hustle, and to just put it on what was his name, Igor, you said, to put it on him like that, and then just cry in his arms, like that was powerful to me, because it kind of told the story of a lot of women who think sex is gonna win a man. And
it turns out, like, I mean, and it would, I mean, and obviously the movie just ended, after that scene, but, maybe Igor was maybe the one for her. Yeah. Maybe she was the man that, maybe, I guess the way I'm looking at it, maybe she was the man that she needed, but not the man that she wanted, if that makes sense.
It makes complete sense, because I agree with you in a sense, but she just was too young. She was too young. She wasn't ready for that. She wasn't ready for that.
Nah.
And on the same note, like a part of me feels like he had been looking at her like the whole time. Like he wanted a taste. He wanted a piece of it, but he knew he couldn't because of the drama that it brought.
Right.
So
exactly.
That was an incredible movie. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, all the characters were believable. You felt empathy, you felt sympathy. It was great. I would highly recommend Honora.
Yeah. It gave you a little bit of everything in 2 hours, and you didn't feel it. The movie had great pacing, those, those are the best movies, the ones that have good pacing. And yes, movies are averaging 2 hours now, but like when you don't feel it and you be like, damn, like this movie's over. Like, so yeah, Nora, right. Yeah, that was a dub. That was a dub. Yeah. Let's see what else we got going on here. Well, we've had 3 episodes of Daredevil. You watched all 3, right?
I did. That's what inspired me to start writing my notes so I wouldn't forget. Are we going to Daredevil? Did you want to touch on Severance just for 5 seconds?
You know what? Sure. Let's touch on Severance. So
we have nothing to say about Severance.
No, we absolutely do not have nothing. So the first episode we did, Paradise and Severance, I mean, I'm talking about running away with TV. I mean, just running away with it. But these last couple episodes, it's just been like, whew, Lord, like, you just like, damn, is this over yet? But I'm hoping that the season finale gives us a decent payoff.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk about it more in the next episode, but yeah, like Sam, I don't think we really have much to say, so we're just gonna move on to
saw
Daredevil.
a reel that was comparing this or saying this was like a bottle episode or a filler episode. And basically that's when they don't have a lot of money in the budget and they kind of just do whatever, that doesn't take off a lot of cost. So that's what they
Yeah,
were
but
saying
it's
the episode.
Apple.
I know, right? They put all that money into the
It's
marketing.
They put all that money into the
So
marketing. I mean, they listen, Apple. Like, look,
I
like
know.
they
I know.
they got
They coulda did
money. They
better.
got bread.
They could have did better. Like you said, the last couple episodes is super like.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Daredevil.
right. Well, we're gonna pick it up because we're about to talk
Yes.
about Daredevil. So Daredevil, we've
Yes.
got 3 episodes so far. Man, what I'm loving about this series so far, like you got the same energy that we got from the Netflix series, and I'm talking about that first episode out the gate, that little battle that he had with Bullseye. Oh my God, just man. And then I mean, damn. Do I have to say? You want me to say it? You want me to say it since you're drinking water?
What you say? What?
About Foggy.
We said spoilers.
What? No. I know that we said spoilers, but like, man, why they have to kill Foggy? What?
Maybe Foggy not dead. Daredevil.
I mean, but they.
Rebirth.
Okay. Do you know that Foggy is Fulton Reed from Mighty Ducks?
I did not know that. And is it
Yes.
Foggy or Froggy?
Foggy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have written down Froggy. I wasn't sure, but I was half asleep when I wrote
Yes.
this. So
Yeah, so when I looked at him, I was like, "Damn, really? That's Fulton
Wow.
Reed from one of the Bash Brothers."
let me make sure.
But
I put that.
yeah,
Go ahead.
you go ahead, look that up. It's gonna be.
No.
It was definitely an interesting find for me when I watched the original
Wow.
series on Netflix. But just so where we are with Daredevil now, like I mean, I like where the series is going. You got Fisk, who is now the mayor. How does a crime boss become the mayor? I feel like that's only something
Come
that
on,
happens
man.
in New York.
Listen, what we got going on in the United States, bro? Is it art imitating life or life imitating art? Come on.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I guess
Come on,
if you could be. Okay, if you could be 47, you could be the mayor. Got it.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
gets it. He gets
Yeah.
it. But it's a pretty interesting, dynamic because he sits down in a restaurant with Matt Murdock, and they're like, okay, well, I know who you are, and I know who you are too, and it's like it's an indirect kind of truce. But not a truce because, he ain't going for him being Daredevil. And, I think Matt is kind of seeing through this whole, him trying to be mayor, be good. Like, and I feel like it's definitely about to come out, especially with the events that happen, and the dude that played the White Tiger. Let me get his name real quick.
Oh, I got it because I've been practicing.
Yo, you been practicing? Okay, what you got?
Camar de los Reyes.
Yes. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
He filmed, well, I think they had the 11 memory, to his name after episode 2, but then come episode 3, like the way they just took him out, and it's just kind of like a segue into like the Punisher, because I'm just like, whoa,
Bro.
So
let me. Oh, can I? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, go ahead.
The third episode was rather intense as far as the courtroom scene, but rather predictable.
Yeah.
Also, maybe it was episode 1 or 2 when Kingpin was mentioning he doesn't want any of those vigilantes with the spider suit and the skull shirt guy or something like that. He said to
Yeah.
intervene. I think those are Easter eggs for what's to come in the season. I think they might do
Yeah.
cameos. Him winning the court case, really predictable. Him getting shot after the court case, really predictable. That whole scene where they made it look like he was getting in the van, but he really didn't. Totally knew that was
Yeah.
like a little like I am. Don't get me wrong, I am enjoying it, but I need for them to take it up a notch and not be so predictable with the courtroom drama. Like that was all like I knew this stuff was coming. I knew it was coming, and I didn't. I needed more. I needed more. But overall, um, I'm enjoying the show so far. It's a lot more gore, a lot more just a lot more intense in general. Why did he break up with the girl? I can't think of her name, the secretary. What happened with them? Did I miss something?
Well, I think they're both grieving for Foggy,
Okay.
in different ways. And, sometimes, that could separate people. I mean, you know, she came back for what did she come back for? She came back for the my goodness, what did she come back for? Damn, I can't even think of it now. Oh my god, that is
It's all right.
terrible. But that was like last week too. But anyway, she came back, and they harped on Foggy for a second. But I think she said that she was in San Francisco or something like that. So,
Oh,
but who knows? Maybe we'll see her again like later on in the season. But I think the reason why they kind of went their own separate ways is because they're grieving in different ways. I think Matt kind of, being who he is, just kind of took it really, really hard, and he probably just didn't let her in. And men, we tend to do that. Like we kind of
yeah, y'all
grieve
do.
differently. Like we don't let our emotions out, and yeah, that's just how that kind of goes.
Yeah. Also, I'm interested in this whole therapist relationship he has going on, and what Kingpin's going to do to try to manipulate that situation. Like, because I guess Murdoch and the therapist are like in a relationship, and now Kingpin and his wife are
Yeah.
seeing the same therapist. So I'm curious to see how he's going to manipulate that to his ability.
Right. Because she signed an NDA that
Hmm.
says she can't talk about what they're talking about, but does
Right.
Kingpin know that, her and Murdoch are together? So that
I swear, I think she do. I think he do. I think he know. He got
that's
eyes
gonna
everywhere. He
yeah.
know. He
That,
doing that
that's
on
definitely gonna be it.
purpose.
That's definitely gonna be an interesting dynamic to see how that how that breaks down. And then
Yeah.
at the end, obviously, the Punisher basically taking out White Tiger. So we're gonna see Frank Castle again. Let's go.
Yes. Yes.
So, and
That I
if
didn't
Matt finds
predict.
out it's him,
Hmm.
no. So I had a feeling that he was gonna get taken out. I
Hmm.
just didn't think he was gonna get taken out by the Punisher. If that was, well, I
Right.
mean, but who else wears a skull on their chest? But
Right.
when it happened, I
Oh
jumped. I was like,
no! In the same episode, they kept showing people with tattoos on like their wrists. That was
yeah,
like a
right,
part
right,
of the police
yeah.
department. So it didn't necessarily
Oh,
have to be the Punisher, although I think it was him. But like you, like I'm opposite. I was expecting for him to get taken out, but I didn't know it was going to be by the Punisher. I thought it was going to be the
right.
cops.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Either way, it's just sad the way that he went out because I
Yeah.
mean, Matt told him like, don't put the suit on again, and here you go, put on the suit, and then he walking the streets all casual. Like, who does that?
But to be honest, I think they probably had to do that given the situation and the way he passed in real life. I think it
Yeah,
wasn't meant for him to get past those episodes anyway. And I wonder if he got a chance to see it before it aired. 'Cause I just think about little
yeah.
small things like that.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that. So just dialing. So the last Severance episode, I did listen to the podcast, and it had Jimmy
Uh-huh.
Kimmel on it. And what I found out is that all these shows, you know how we get an episode like once a week.
Mhm.
If you're like one of those people, you get they'll give you like the entire series. And Kimmel said he had the opportunity because I guess he's a big Severance fan, but I guess they have access to watch the entire series, but he says he wants to watch it with the world. So maybe he did see it,
Oh, okay.
just based
That's
off
good.
of, what was said in the podcast. I don't know if Marvel and Apple works the same way, but,
That would
just,
be nice.
yeah, absolutely. So now
Woo-hoo.
we need to address the elephant in the room. So
Yes.
I think we said in the last episode that what did we say? We said we was gonna give everybody 6-7 episodes of The Wire.
Yeah, we said we were going to watch season 1, episode 1 through 6. And we ended up
1
going
through
way
6.
down in the hole.
Wait. So and before we kind of get into what we what we think about the first season, it's so funny. I think we both got up to, or I think I was ahead of you by like one episode, and I text you and I was like, you know what? I think we can do the entire first season. And you was like, yeah. So we went ahead and did it. So The Wire season 1.
Let's get into it.
What are your takeaways? Let's get into it. What are some of your takeaways? Who are like people that really stood out to you? Let's see what Samantha has to say about season 1.
So The Wire, it's a great series. It's very realistic to how the hood is per se. So many characters to understand and to get into. I didn't even get to understand all of them until about season 8. It was a lot going on. You got Avon Barksdale, Stringer Bell, D'Angelo Barksdale, Wallace, Weebay, Lil Man, Bodie, Omar, Brianna Barksdale, McNulty, Kima, Carver, Detective Hurt, Lester, Lieutenant Daniels, Ross, Prez, Bubs. Like, all of these are prominent characters throughout the entire season. And it's like you just can't keep up. And eventually I did. And I'm just like, I can tell you my thoughts. Like, I empathize with Bubs so much. He was the neighborhood crackhead. Like, I loved how he tried to help with whatever he could, but then trying to stay clean and then going back and relapsing. Like, that hit home for me because I know people like that. Prez, he was an asshole in the first 2 episodes, shot up the car, beat up that little kid. And then I grew to love him because he found his niche. He loved that behind the scenes stuff. What was his name? Colonel Ross, the guy in charge of the homicide department, fucking asshole.
Ross.
Yeah. Lieutenant Daniels, rest in peace. Rest in peace, Lance Reddick, from a John Wick series. I liked him. I really did, but it was almost like he was never happy. He had like resting bitch face. And I didn't understand his character because I didn't know how to feel. Where we at now? Weebay, I just found out.
Weebay.
That guy, he's a ride or die. Like, and I never, like, my favorite GIF of all time is him in that mail room post office type thing. This was my first time seeing where the scene originated from. Oh my God. And it makes sense to how I use the GIF all the time too. So.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. McNulty, he was alcoholic, but I loved him. I love to hate him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kima.
He's the guy that you don't want, but you want.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Kima, the only female detective. She was lesbian. so funny. I watch her now in my show, Real Will Trent, where she's like the head of the GBI, and I kept looking at her like, where do I know her from? Where do I know her from? But I never seen The Wire, but I still don't know where else I seen her from. But
Yeah.
her name is what, Sonia Son, or yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I liked her character too. I didn't like how her wife or her girlfriend or partner tried to like shut her out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you to be a cop. Like, sometimes people just need to follow their passion.
Yeah.
I I guess, I mean, so far so good. It's not like great. My expectations going in, y'all hyped it up a lot, but it's good. But I feel like maybe if I would have watched it when it came out, my expectations would be like, or my thought would be like, oh, this is a great show. But now that I'm watching it after Power, after what was the other show?
Snowfall.
Snowfall. It's like the evolution. Like if I would have watched it in the beginning, I probably
Yeah.
would have been like, "Oh, this is a great show." But seeing it after it evolved, it's like, yeah, I don't know. But I mean, we got 4 more seasons to go.
Yeah. And you've already started season 2, right?
I did start season 2, and shout out to my homie Josh from work. He put me on to the podcast with Jamil Hill and Van Latham.
Yes.
They go into detail about each episode of The Wire. It's been super helpful for season 2 because I wanted to quit. Whole new set of characters I got to learn. Whole new storyline.
When I tell y'all, she sent me a voice memo. Like, you know what? I've watched 1 episode of season 2, and I'm just like, absolutely not. Like, I cannot do this. But then, you brought up the podcast. But so, how far are you in season 2 before I kind of dial back to season 1? I'm at episode. I'm up to episode 6
Season 2?
of season 2. Yeah.
Damn. I'm only on episode 3.
You know, episode. Okay, well,
Yeah.
You know what? Who knows? Hey, for those of y'all listening, we may have a season 2 review for y'all when we do our next podcast. But season 1. So it's so funny when I think about this show and the time period that it came out. So this show debuted the day after I graduated high school. Oh, I did my homework. I could tell you now, there is no way that 18-year-old Sean was watching this show. There's just absolutely no way, because I wasn't trying to stay in the house, if I'm being honest. Like, I watch a movie and then I go on my merry way. I just wasn't investing into TV. What I do appreciate about the show is the nostalgia. Like, to see all of the gear that we used to wear back in the day. Your
Yes.
Sean Johns, your Fat Farms, Aniche, Echo. Did I miss any? Fubu. Like, and, the show is very dated. However, I think, like Sam said, like, I appreciate the realism of the show. Like, it's very, it's a lot. It's just a lot. When you think about your police departments, you got good cops, you got bad cops, you got cops that are trying to, it's just like the military. Like, you got dudes that are trying to make rank. You got dudes that are really about the job. And you get all of that in this TV show. Character development, I just think it's, like you said, it's so many characters, and you don't really know who to follow. You don't really know who to like. Well, no, I stand corrected. I started to like Wallace, and then they killed Wallace. Young Michael B. Jordan. I can't. You know what? That scene, I thought that they was just gonna take him upstairs and whoop his ass. That's all. That's what I thought it was gonna be. I
knew
didn't think
that
they was gonna
wasn't it.
shoot the boy, and then his homie shot him. Like, damn, what's the dude name that shot him? I can't.
Bodie.
Excuse me. So Bodie shot him, and then his homie, like, you supposed to be my boy. Like, you land in my house, and I'm looking out for you. And he took two shots at him, man. So, man, that was just that just kind of hurt. But I guess the other thing, they solve the case. They basically foil Avon's, his drug little ring that he got going on, and then they just disband him. Like, okay, case over. You go back to where you were. You go back to where you were. Instead of just kind of keeping, the crew together to solve other crimes. Now that's going to come into play in season 2, and we'll talk about that more. But the the show definitely starts out really, really slow for me. Like, for those of us watching on YouTube, like my head was doing the yo-yo a lot of episodes.
Yep.
And
same.
It would be times I will pause and I would be like, damn, how much longer I got? Like,
bro, same.
But I think after Kima, got shot, I think that's when it like, all right, now I guess they want to get serious now because the cop got, shot. So, it's just crazy to see like a lot of the actors, that we've come to know over the years, and they all originated in this show. Like, I feel like Bunk, Wendell Pierce, my man, I feel like he plays like the same role in everything that he's in. Like, I
only
love
remember
Wendell
him
Pierce.
from Waiting to Exhale. That's where I remember him from. Waiting to Exhale. That was it. And I looked at him. I'm like, oh, that's Two Pumps. You just had a flashback, didn't you?
Oh my God. I just went right back to the scene. Like,
yeah.
But no, so he's played in a lot of things. He was in Suits. He was in,
he was her daddy.
He was in, he was also in what's my show on Amazon? He's in not Jack. He's in Jack Ryan. He was the preacher on what was that movie with Cuba Gooding and Beyonce? Great soundtrack, by the way. Fighting Temptations. He was in that. He was the preacher. So I loved him. Stringer, like, his character is just funny to me because you in the drug game, but you going to, was that a community college you was going to? Anyway, my man getting educated.
Yeah. My
man getting educated, but he's still in the drug game. I respect that. Like, any dude that's in the drug game that's trying to better himself, like, and I don't know what his end game is, but he finds ways to kind of use what he learns in school in the drug game. So that's overall, I think the series, it's cool. Like, I'm not blown away yet, and everybody just keeps saying it gets better. So Deontay, it better get better. That's all I'm gonna say. Who else? Sonny, it better get better. So there's that. So there's The Wire, y'all. Season 1. We should have season 2 hopefully done by the next episode. So we're ahead of schedule. So
yeah, we are.
Applause. Yeah. All right. So where we want to go next with this?
So listen here. We got this little segment we about to do where we talk about like the top 10 forgotten or maybe even slept on films. We'll try to give y'all different types every episode.
Okay.
We don't have to really go into it too much, but just give you a little headliner maybe.
Okay.
I guess I can start it off. This is in no particular order. These are just movies that either y'all like we all forgot about because we're grown-ups now, or things that was good and people haven't recognized how good it was. So for me, I start at number 10. The Boy Who Could Fly came out in 1986. This used to be one of my favorite movies. I watched it as an adult. I understood it better as an adult than I did as a kid. Sometimes when you watch stuff as a kid, you just kind of remember those moments and laughing or feeling some kind of way, but you don't really know the storyline. So I watched this as an adult and I loved it. This was one of my favorite movies as a kid. An autistic kid could fly, and nobody believed him. They just thought he was weird. Had a crush on the girl next door. Pretty much.
Oh, that had Fred Savage in it.
Yes, a baby Fred Savage. Number 9, Little Monsters. Also Fred Savage.
Yes.
Came out in 1989. Fred Savage and Howie Mandel and Ben Savage. He was Fred Savage's little brother in the movie, actually.
Yep.
I know some of you guys got to remember Little Monsters. It's such a classic.
Yes.
I remember introducing it to my kids, and my DVD is busted up because he watched it so much. Cool little story about monsters under the bed that actually live under the bed and have a whole ass little community underneath the bed. And they weren't trying to kill you. They just was hungry and try to do pranks and shit. Cool little story. Where am I at? Number 8? Number 8, Ghost Dad with Bill Cosby. Come on now, y'all gotta remember Ghost Dad. He drowns. He becomes a ghost. He hunts the family. They can see him. They can hear him. The graphics, the CGI back then was terrible. The graphics, oh my God, terrible. But it was like a really good movie. I need to watch this. You do? Have you seen it before?
No. So I've seen it. I remember my grandmother taking us to the movies to go, because back in the day we would come down here to Columbus and spend like summers with my grandmother. And I remember they had a dollar show down here like we had up in Cleveland, up in Willoughby, and I remember her taking us to go see this movie. So I remember the movie, like I remember the whole plot and everything, but I haven't watched it since I've been an adult, if I'm being honest. So like it would be something that I would definitely sit down and watch again, just to kind of see, number one, how it aged, because some movies don't age well. But no, I would definitely watch this again. So sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I think I watched it about 20 years ago. And before that, since I was a kid. And that's something I would like to watch again, too. I just remember the ending. She dropped the TV and fell down the stairs so she can die, too, and be with him.
Yep.
And I think they ended up bringing her back to life. But that's just one of those classic movies.
They brought her back, yeah.
Number 7, American Ninja. Now, I told y'all in the first episode, I love me karate movies, ninja movies. That was my thing back in the day because that's something that I associate with my father. And we used to sit and watch those movies all the time. So American Ninja, like it has a soft spot in my heart. I don't think it aged well at all, but the story was pretty good. I just remember a few parts. I have the DVD, so I've watched it since I was a kid. Where I'm at, number 6. Now, Big Shots. Have you ever seen Big Shots before?
Big Shots. Let me look at the poster real quick.
Darius McQuarrie, Little Eddie Winslow. It came out in 1987. I watched this as a kid, and then I watched it again as an adult, like a week ago. Certain parts, it came back to me. I was like, yo, I remember that. And it just took me back to my childhood. But it's just a story, like once I watched, I knew the storyline when I watched it last week. But before, I didn't know what I was watching. I just remember 2 kids still in the car. And I forgot the guy's name. He used to play in a lot of stuff. And I said I wasn't going to forget his name. You talking about
Paul Winfield?
Paul Winfield,
Is this the movie where they get the whooping? Did they get a whooping in this movie?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one part I remember too.
Yep.
So the white kid in the movie, he lost his dad. Then he runs away from home and went to the hood in Chicago. He gets mugged. They stole this watch that his dad gave him. Little Eddie Winslow rescues him. They hang out. They try to get the watch back. They ended up getting the watch back. He went back home. The teacher he lived in like Helmsdale, which is a suburb of Chicago. The teacher gave like this speech about Martin Luther King and all this stuff and inspired the little white kid. And he stole his mama's car and went back to the hood to find his friend. And long story short, he helped them find his dad. They reconnected. It was the story was really good. And I just didn't remember that storyline at all. I just remember them getting whooped by Paul Winfield. I remember them eating Twinkies.
Yep. So,
and that was
I'm mad
still
I
in the
remember
car.
That part.
They stole the car with the dead body in the trunk.
Yeah. All right.
And it was a typical 80s movie.
Yeah. All right. All
So
right.
we at number
So
5.
going back, yeah, going back to movies that are slept on. So I'm gonna start with Masters of the Universe that came out in 1987. This movie starred Dolph Lundgren. I was a big He-Man fan growing up. He-Man actually came out the year we were born in 1983.
Oh
So,
yay!
and they're actually coming out with a new live action He-Man movie. It's been announced. I know Idris Elba is going to be in it. He's going to be Man in Arms. I don't know who He-Man going to be. Somebody I don't even know. But
So
anyway,
they
going
really
back to
going
this
through with
movie.
it.
Yeah, they really going through with
Okay.
it. So, so for me, this movie, for me, I think it aged well. It's just Skeletor takes over Eternia, and they basically got to break the sorceress out of this force field so that they can get Eternia back. But in the midst of all this, they ended up getting to planet Earth. They lose the cosmic key, and now they gotta, not only do they have Skeletor's dudes chasing after them, but they're also trying to get back to Eternia so they can save the sorceress or whatnot. But I mean, I thought the story carried on very well. CGI, had like the Star Wars like laser fighting or whatever the case may be. But I enjoyed it. Like, if you look at like the reviews, like people, they really hated this movie. Like, they bashed Dolph Lundgren because I think he did this. I don't know. I can't remember if he did this first or he did Rocky first because he was Drago on Rocky. But yeah. So that's one of my sleepers. So that's number 5. Going down to number 4, Jackie Brown. So Jackie Brown came out in 1997. That was Tarantino's third film that he did. And I call it a sleeper because not a lot of people talk about this movie. And I feel like people skip over this movie a lot because before Tarantino did this, he did Pulp Fiction, which we all know that is a classic. And then after this, he did Kill Bill. But I just feel like Jackie Brown had all the stars in this movie. I mean,
Yeah.
it had a good story. They did the whole time lapse thing from people from different views, kind of like what they did with Pulp Fiction. But I just feel like it's just one of those movies that don't get talked about enough. I still love it. I will still watch it to this day. It had, who is it? Pam Grier, Samuel L., Robert De Niro, yo boy, Michael Keaton. I mean, Chris Tucker.
I
mean,
love Jackie Brown. I'm with you.
Jackie,
I love it. It don't get enough
Jackie
credit.
Brown. It don't get enough credit, but it's just one of those movies that I will say that came out at the wrong time. Next one, we're down to 3, Little Giants. So Little Giants is a feel good movie. Came out in '94. Stars Rick Moranis and Ed O'Neill. And it's about these two brothers who are basically trying to have the number 1 football team. Well, Ed O'Neill is like the neighborhood hero, like Heisman Trophy winner, all of that. But his brother ends up starting a football team with a whole bunch of reject kids that Ed O'Neill did not pick up. What was it? Kevin O'Shea and Dan O'Shea. Why do I remember these names? But It really jumps off because he doesn't pick his niece, who was arguably the best football player, like on both sides of the ball, like Becky the Icebox. That was her name. But it's just an underdog story that feel good movie, and it was during that time period where there was like a lot of kid leads. Love it. I actually watched it like a couple of months ago, and I still love it. I can still quote it to this day. It's
I introduced
terrible.
Kobe to it last year, and he loved it too.
Yes.
I do that a
Awesome.
lot. I like take out the movies from back in the day, and I make him watch it with me just so he can see. He loved it.
I wish I can get my kids to watch movies with me. Like, so Baby Sean, he will watch movies with me, like, until he don't watch it. If it's Transformers, he all about it. He was actually watching like Batman scenes with me last night, but that's a whole different thing. Continuing on down the list, Sleepers, 1996. This movie, it had Kevin Bacon. Who else was Robert De Niro? Yeah, Robert De Niro was the The Priest.
Yeah.
It's basically about these boys from Hell's Kitchen in New York. They end up getting sent to this detention home after they almost kill a dude stealing a hot dog cart. What ends up happening when they go to this detention home, they are sexually assaulted. And years later, after they're all adults, they find a way to get back at all the guards that sexually assaulted them. But it starts off because they killed the main dude. Mm-hmm. So in order they end up going to court and all of this stuff. Oh, who else? Brad Pitt was in it too.
I can't think of nobody's names, but I know the movie. I'm sorry.
But after they kill Kevin Bacon, they find a way to get their friends out of the murder while implicating the other guards and saying what, they basically got all the guards to admit to what they did to these boys, and they ended up getting off. But one of those movies that are not, I've introduced so many people to this movie, and anybody I've ever introduced to this movie, it's like, oh my God, it's so good. And, once I found out they on Blu-ray, it's in my Blu-ray collection. So definitely one of my favorites.
You know what? They only got off because Robert De Niro gave them an alibi.
Oh,
that was the twist right there. He was a priest and he had to lie.
But the reason why he went ahead and did it because the priest never knew what happened. He would go and visit them at this detention home, this place where they got sentenced to, and they never uttered a word to the father. But once he laid the whole story out, just like wow. Yeah. So yeah. He had to do a lot of praying after that one.
Dope movie.
Yeah. Absolutely. And last but not least, one of my favorites, Little Big League. It came out in 1994. It's about a kid who is the grandson of the owner of the Minnesota Twins. When his grandfather dies, he ends up, he inherits the ownership of the Minnesota Twins, but then he also becomes the manager. Manager is a coach, like the head coach in baseball. But anyway, what I really like about this movie is the fact that all the actors that played in this movie, the way they had to audition, they had to show that they could play baseball.
Oh, that's dope.
And if you could not play baseball, you could not go any further in the audition. But you had a lot of cameos from big baseball players at the time. I believe Sandy Alomar from the Indians was in it. Carlos Baerga, if you remember those guys from the 90s. Ken Griffey. Who else? Randy Johnson. It was during that time period where there was a lot of movies with kid leads. So, what was 94? I think around that time period, you had movies like Richie Rich, Blank Check.
Oh, yeah.
And this was just one of those movies that was just easy to look over because you had all these other movies that had, I would say, bigger kid stars. Rookie of the Year, they just had bigger, kid stars. So that was, one. Yes. But that's some of our sleepers. What are yours?
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what's some forgotten about movies or slept on movies. Yeah. My bad.
All right, what we got next?
So, I'm just gonna touch on two of these, and then we can move on to our last little segment. Upcoming movies that I'm excited to see. Woman in the Yard. That comes out March 28th. It's a A24 joint, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? I don't want to give the wrong information.
Here, let me see how quick I can pull this up. You said Woman in the Yard?
Yes, Woman in the Yard. I don't want to give up. I don't want to.
Woman in the Yard is a... Oh, my God. Hold on. Let me put A24 next to it. I believe it is.
Okay.
No, it's not. It is a
Blumhouse.
Yeah.
Blumhouse. Yep. My bad. Yes.
Yeah, Blumhouse. Get it right.
Yes, Blumhouse. Danielle Detweiler. I've started to fall in love with her. She is an amazing actress. She stars in this film. I don't know what it's about. Looks like a scary, creepy woman in the yard. I haven't really been watching the trailers because we've talked about this before. The trailers give out just a little bit too much, so I try to stay away
Too
from
much.
it. Yeah, but I'm excited to see Woman in the Yard that comes out March 28th, and another one that comes out in March that I thought you might be interested in. With Jonathan Majors. It's called Magazine Dreams, and it's about a
I
Bollywood.
just
It's
saw the
based on a
trailer
true
for
story.
that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like Sean might be interested in that. Let me put that on the list. Like it looks good though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never heard of that guy. I'm not into to lifting, but it looks like an incredible story.
It's definitely something I would check out. I just saw the trailer for like a couple days ago. So, and I mean, Jonathan Majors, I mean, another
Incredible
actor
actor.
that's
Yes.
incredible. Yes.
Incredible actor. I feel like that whole ordeal just, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, guys, closing out here, we got one last thing we want to do, and we're going to put the picture up for you to see.
Yes.
So, if you can save 3 of these movies and the rest are erased for history, what would they be? And we're going to put it up here for you.
Okay.
You want to go, Sean?
It's a lot. You want me to pick my 3?
Go ahead. I'm still
Well,
stuck.
you know what? Okay, so just for the purposes of for the podcast listeners, I just go off the movies. What is damn? How many movies? It's 16 movies. So again, it's from 1991. We can only save 3 of these movies. So going across the top, I'm gonna go. Is gonna be My Girl, Thelma and Louise, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. What is that? Is that Doors?
The Doors.
The
Mhm,
Doors.
The Doors.
The Doors. Drop Dead Fred, Boys in the Hood, JFK, Beauty and the Beast, Hook, Point Break, Hot Shots, Addams Family, Robin Hood, Fried Green Tomatoes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Silence of the Lambs, What About Bob, American Tail, Fievel Goes West, Cape Fear, and Rocketeer. So, 3 movies that I can save and erase the other 3 forever. Terminator 2. It's a keeper.
Really?
Like
Wow.
the movie. So the technology that they used, the special effects, like I think that movie was definitely ahead of its time. And then I'm a big action person, and the Terminator series is so relevant to today because we are counting on computers to do all the things, that we can do ourselves. And one day they gonna turn. It's gonna happen. Like Terminator's like James Cameron was on to something when he created this one. The next one, Keeper, Boys in the Hood. You cannot talk about the hood without not. This movie basically gave everybody insight on what it's like to grow up black in America, during that time period. I mean, because people just did not know. This movie just, I can't even begin to say how great this film was. When I went to the Academy Museum in LA this past summer, they actually had a whole layout of this movie on one of the floors, just kind of paying tribute to John Singleton. And this movie John Singleton was nominated for Best Director for this film. You just can't talk about, what it was like growing up in Black America without bringing this movie up, in my opinion. And then number 3 that I would save on this list, Hook. I love Hook.
Rufio.
Yeah. I just feel like Robin Williams is an amazing actor. that just goes without saying. And to get Peter Pan's story, about Peter Pan, the boy who never grew up, who actually did grow up and become a family man, and then forget that, who he once was, and then he has to remember. And then, he comes back and he's Robin Hood, and then his kids, because he was like a dork to like his kids was like, oh, my dad is just a dude that goes to work. But now, like, his kids can see that he's really Peter Pan. I mean, man, this was just an easy list for me. Like, when I looked at it, like, I had my 3 picked out, like, instantly.
Oh, no. Mine was so hard. So number 1 for sure is My Girl. One of my favorite 90s movies. Thomas Jane, he can't see without his glasses. Like, by far, one of my top favorite movies. He dies from all those bee stings. He was allergic to everything, and he died because of the bee stings.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my favorites. Like, your family, your dad's an undertaker, and you have to live with dead bodies on a regular basis. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's kind of dark, but it's one of those feel good movies for me. I'm gonna also say the Hook. Also, that alone, great movie. And then my third one, it was a toss up. I still don't know which one to pick because I love Drop Dead Fred, but when I watched it as an adult, I wanted to strangle that mofo. He got on my nerves. But then, like, Thelma and Louise, I'm not about to die for my best friend. I'm sorry. But it was such a great movie. So I'm going to go with Addams Family because I like a little goth. I like a little horror. It took me back to a time, MC Hammer song, do what they want to do, say what they want to say, live how they want to live, play how they want to play.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to go with the Addams Family. So My Girl, Addams Family, and Hook.
Okay.
Those are my top 3.
Wow, we both picked Hook.
Yeah, Hook was great.
That's awesome. So I really like this segment, and we're gonna actually do more like these in upcoming episodes. So be on the lookout. But we definitely want to know, what are your 3 that you can say from this list, and then the rest is gone. So I would definitely, when we make this a reel, because we're definitely going to make this a reel, I want to know, we need to know your 3.
Yeah, leave them all in the comments. Run these numbers up, y'all.
All right. So
before you close it out, Sean, I just wanted to thank my brother again. JB, Taurus Media, we appreciate you so much. It took us a little longer today. I know y'all not behind the scenes, but we had some issues. My brother is the GOAT. Like, he comes off of work, comes straight over here and gets us together. I appreciate him so much. He had a birthday March 7th. Happy 40th birthday, JB. You can follow him on Taurus Media Now on Instagram. His website is not up and running yet, but you can follow him on Taurus Media Now on Instagram for the time being. He does podcasting, he does videography, he does photography, and Demario also made him shirts as well. And I hope he opened them.
Hey.
I got him that for his birthday. All right, Sean, back to you.
Appreciate you. Yeah, and just kind of piggyback on that, man. JB, definitely appreciate you. I mean, being able to, make this work out for us, being in 2 different locations, and man, your hard work is so very, very much appreciated, man. So appreciate you, bro, and hope you had a great time during your 40th birthday. Welcome to the 40 Club. Over the hill, dog. All right. So in closing, man, I just want to say, thank you guys for joining us for another episode here of Film Geeks. You can, listen, follow us. Please like, subscribe on YouTube. We are at Film Geeks 83 _ podcast. That's going to be on Instagram. We got a TikTok now. And you can also listen to us on Apple and Spotify under Film Geeks 83 as well. So please like, subscribe, comment. Let us know your thoughts, and also give us ideas. Let us know what you want us to talk about in the future. But we're definitely going to continue to bring content to you guys. And what are we going to be discussing next episode? So next episode, we're definitely going to be going over, the next few episodes of Daredevil. I think we said that we will probably have season 2 wrapped up of The Wire.
Yeah.
And
Severance season finale also.
Severance
season finale. We should be done with that one. We're going to bring back the segment we just did. And maybe another top 10. We might have to reduce it a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
Any ideas, like you said? Any
I'm
ideas,
definitely
thoughts? All of that. Leave it in our comment section. We greatly appreciate it.
I'm so excited about the next one. The next Eliminate list. I'm so excited about that one.
The next who?
The next list that we do.
Oh, the elimination list. Okay, the pick 3.
Yeah.
The pick 3.
Yes, the pick. That's what we're pick 3. Pick 3. I'm excited about the next pick 3. Hey, awesome. But hey, again, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.